You know yet on some of the questionable guys?
I don't.
Is it like a warm-up type situation?
Yeah. Basically, everyone's downstairs on the training table. I'll get the word here in the next half hour. Or so.
Jimmy's here, though.
Jimmy's here. Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts or comment on what's going on in Venezuela?
Well, that came out of nowhere. No, I won't comment on that.
How much did you guys look at the tape last night after, like some of the stuff was just like, I think you said like not much to take away from that one.
Not much. Yeah. It's time to turn the page quickly, and we're much more concerned about Utah and tonight's game. They're playing really well, and last night was obviously a tough night, and but we got to turn the page quickly.
Hello, Coach. You've been went through so many tough games in your life, in your career. You think the game like yesterday, what was the most toughest part for your coaching last night?
Toughest part of last night?
The most challenging part for your coaching?
It's just no fun just getting demolished. It's just a lousy feeling. And, anybody who's ever been, part of sports knows the feeling. It's part of it, but it doesn't feel good.
Steve, what's the challenge in defending someone like Keyonte George? He's kind of exploded this year a little bit, and quick, smaller guards feels like maybe the kinds of guys your team has struggled with a bit. What's that challenge like tonight?
Yeah, he's playing great. He's shooting the ball well. He's quick. He's, they run a lot of off-ball actions, and he has a lot to his game. Kind of hit and hand back with their big guy at the top of the key, penetration. We let him loose a little bit last game here. I think he had like 4 threes in the first 15 minutes, and we did a better job after that, but we've got to pay close attention to him.
Continue on that. Is there something in the timing? Guys in their third year do seem to take a jump in this league, and that's where Keyonte is. And this jump's obviously bigger than most, but is there something to that timing of why it takes this long for players?
No, I just think it's like anything else, it's just reps, 10,000 hours, however you want to explain it. To me, that's the biggest jump is, from rookie year to, 2 and 3. It's like, that's when a player really sees the pictures clearly, the cliche about the game slowing down literally feels that way, I think, for guys. And then you build confidence from there. And, guys who are really skilled and talented, they just start to feel like they can really do it on a consistent basis.
Prepping today, I noticed that more and more of Steph's field goals are assisted.
I'm sorry?
Prepping today, I noticed more and more of Steph's field goals are assisted than they used to be. At the same time, he's assisting less for his teammates. Has that been an adjustment in your system to create that, or is this just happening naturally?
No, I didn't know those numbers. So, I think, Jimmy has changed our team, obviously, since we got him last year. We are frequently playing through him. He's a great ISO player. We've never really kind of played the way we are now through Jimmy, where we just get him the ball and get spaced and stay still. And it's really effective because of how good Jimmy is at getting a shot for either for himself or for others. But when Steph and Draymond are out there together doing their thing, they're still creating a lot of shots and a lot of offense together for the group. And so we haven't really altered anything. We've adapted to Jimmy, especially in the non-Steph minutes. But ultimately, I think we're getting to the point where we're finally finding some consistency, and we've been better overall offensively the last 6-7 games. Last night notwithstanding.
Steve, I saw a off-ball gravity metric that kind of describes how much a defense is bent by shooters off the ball, and Steph was number one, and Larry Markkinen was number two. I'm curious, you guys are both run kind of off-ball systems for your best player, and that makes sense. But I'm wondering if you can kind of compare and contrast what it is that you do run for those players compared to the Jazz.
Well, I know Will pretty well from our USA basketball days, and I have a good feel for some of the things he likes to do. They run probably more flares than anybody that we face. And flaring Markkinen off that top of the key is really difficult to guard. It's most teams run pinaways like we do, where the big pins for the guard, the shooter. But them flaring a 7-foot guy out there is very difficult to handle. OKC does some of that with Holmgren too, and so it kind of distorts the chessboard a little bit. It's a look that you don't see as often night after night in the league, and so players just aren't as accustomed to guarding it. And then they just run good stuff in general. Will does a great job of just kind of piecing together different actions and creating a good flow for his team.
Steve, D'Anthony said something interesting before the road trip, but about he works to make 10 free throws in a row when he's training, and that sometimes helps him.
I'm sorry, who's this?
D'Anthony Melton works to make 10 free throws in a row, and then that sometimes helps him get into a shooting rhythm when he's just scrimmaging. I know Sean Livingston used to shoot 100 a day or something like that. And do you find that to be the case where sometimes making free throws can get somebody into a rhythm? Did you practice a lot of free throws in the day? Yeah.
I would shoot 100 every day and use the pitch back because we didn't have 17 coaches on our staff back then. Now these guys go down there and they've got 4 different people rebounding for them. But I think free throws are a great way of developing your shooting stroke and getting a lot of reps in without getting too much wear and tear on your body. Sean used to do it every day. But yeah, I think it's a great way just to hone your shooting stroke. What's that? 100. Not that I remember that well or anything, but yeah.
Steve, QP is kind of struggling with his shot lately, and obviously that's one of the main things you need him out there for. His value is his shot. Any concerns there, or do you think it's QP?
QP.
Yeah, with his shot lately. Any concerns, or is it just something he has to shoot himself out of? I mean, what are you seeing?
Well, last night was an anomaly because of we basically had all role players trying to generate shots from each other, for each other, and it's really hard to do, especially against the best defense in the league. Every shot he had last night was a difficult one because he barely had time to get it off. The previous couple of games, he's made his first couple of threes. He's looked much more comfortable. I think it's all part of just being a young player and gaining the confidence, kind of what we talked about with Keyonte, in his third year, QP's in his second. The game has to slow down. You have to feel that sense of calm and confidence, and that's still coming for QP. But I believe in his shot. We all do, and I think he'll get more and more consistent with it as he goes.
And it appears you are breaking your New Year's resolution about starting lineups because you don't even know who's going to play tonight.
I don't even know, so yeah, I have an excuse. Yeah. January 3rd. That's not. Yeah, 2 days. Yeah.